Fitting a diet into your lifestyle. Welcome to Anoint Him channel. Please check down in the description for other parts or if you miss any. Here is the other issue with eating a diet designed simply to help you reduce your caloric intake. It's miserable. I always say that there is no point in starting any new diet or any new training regime unless you intend to stick with it permanently. If you're going to diet for a month and then go back to your old shape, then what's the point? So whatever diet you're coming up with right now, the first thing you need to ask yourself is whether you can feasibly see yourself following it forever. This is the problem with intermittent fasting diets, and it's the problem with calorie counting. Sure, you can stomach the idea of scanning all your food for a few days, weeks, or even months. But are you really going to be doing this when you're 80? If not, then it is not sustainable. And what's the point of going to such effort to count everything you eat, when we've already seen that the numbers are really just a guess at best? For most people, this will be an effective tool until it becomes dull and they give up because they're too tired and stressed to stick with it. For others, it might never work owing to other biological factors that prevent them from getting the most from it. Cast your mind back to the notion of your body going through cycles between anabolic and catabolic. Now ask yourself, what have you been doing all day at work? You've been stressed, likely getting into arguments, working to deadlines and struggling with difficult clients. At the same time, you've been staring into a screen which is a very bright source of artificial light. What does all this mean? It means you're very much in fight or flight. You're very much catabolic. And so when you get home, of course your body is going to revert to anabolic. Not only that, but your blood sugar is likely incredibly low and you need something to cheer you up, something that will release some serotonin. You need to swing that pendulum back to the anabolic, rest and digest state. And now you're telling me that you're going to eat fish because it has the right number of calories? The good news is that there is a better way. The other factors overlooked by diets. There are many more important factors that often get overlooked by diets too. One of these is the fact that we tend to eat socially. That is to say that we often eat something because we're with our partners, our families, or our friends. We like inviting people round for meals, we like going out for fancy dinners, and we like surprising our partners with chocolates. If you don't join in with this, then it's actually quite unsocial and we miss out. Again, with all those hormones screaming at you to get some sugar and now the social pressure of eating out, are you really ordering that salad? Forever? And yes, there is the simple matter of time and energy. Tracking all your calories takes time and energy, and as we've discussed, those are both factors that are already at a premium. Can you really motivate yourself to count all the calories in that home-cooked meal, every day? But most important of all, nutrients. And there's something else that gets not a lot of attention when it comes to diet and that absolutely deserves it, that's too many of us view our food as fuel. This is something that the calorie counting approach is very guilty of doing. We look at food as something that we use in order to enable ourselves to keep going and to keep us productive at work. We think of it in terms of something that our body burns in much the same way that a car uses petrol. But food is much more than that. Not only should food be enjoyable and social as we have already discussed, but it should also be thought of as being the very substance that we are made of. You've heard the expression "you are what you eat," and well, it's true. When you consume amino acids from proteins, your body actually reconstitutes those in order to build your muscle and skin. You are literally recycling the parts of dead animals and plants in order to rebuild your own tissue. Likewise, the micronutrients found in your food help to build your bones and connective tissues, your brain chemicals, and even the hormones that help to drive you. Micronutrients are the tiny nutrients that come from all our food, and they are absolutely essential to helping us to perform and feel our very best. These make us feel more awake, more alert, more happy, and they even help to elevate our metabolism so that we burn more fat. If you are feeling depressed, weak, sluggish, and slow, then there's a good chance that it is actually because you have a deficiency in some kind of essential nutrient. These are nature's sports supplements, and they can be instrumental in helping you to get out of the funk you're in. Why modern diets are the worst. And here's another thing to keep in mind, modern diets are the worst. The big issue is with modern diets is that they have essentially hacked the very system our body evolved in order to survive with. Remember the way that simple sugars cause a rush of blood sugar, insulin, and serotonin to make us feel great but then cause us to gain weight? Well, all food manufacturers care about is that first bit, making you feel good. They want to sell more of their crisps, their chocolate bars and their cakes, and so they have made foods that are practically just sugar. These are constantly and immediately spiking the blood sugar and can single-handedly raise your chances of developing diabetes and other health conditions. What's worse is that these overly processed foods have removed all of the nutrients that made them so healthy. If you eat a piece of fruit, you'll probably find that it's packed with vitamin C, vitamin A, resveratrol and a host of antioxidants which will help you to look and feel more awesome. But if you eat a shop-bought sausage roll, then you're barely eating meat. You just get sugar, trans fat, and salt. Likewise, if you eat a chocolate bar, you spike your sugar but without getting any useful nutrients. Remember, this is the stuff that your feel-good hormones are made out of. This is the stuff that helps to drive your metabolism forward. This is the stuff that rebuilds your wounds. So is it any wonder that so many of us are burned out, dried up and exhausted? Finally, the lose your belly diet. So there has been a lot of preamble thus far, but it's important that you understand the logic behind the lose your belly diet so that you can understand why it is working so well. Remember, our objective is still to eat fewer calories than we burn, but along the way we want to take into account the role of hormones and meal timing, and we want to actually enjoy eating in a way that is practical. The simple way to lose weight. If you were to boil weight loss down into its simplest possible parts, then the main take-home point would still be to eat less and to specifically eat less of the bad stuff. What counts as bad stuff? Simple carbs, which just so happens to be most of the empty calories as well. In other words, if you eliminated processed foods like sausage rolls and pork scratchings, along with all the sweets and treats like crisps, chips, chocolate, cake and candy, then you would be able to enjoy a diet with far fewer calories immediately, and you would at the same time not be losing anything important from your food intake. This is not rocket science, it's pretty straightforward. While you're at it, make sure you get rid of any excessive sauces, so that means squirting large amounts of mayonnaise onto your food and certainly sugary drinks. Did you know that a glass of Coke has as much sugar as eating 2 Cadbury's cream eggs? So remove the bad stuff and where possible, just replace with a vegetable like a carrot or a fruit like a banana. In fact, make a conscious effort to make sure that you are getting more nutrients. That guideline about fruit and vegetable? Follow it. This doesn't have to be complicated or a slow process. It can be as simple as ordering a smoothie from Starbucks in the morning instead of a cappuccino, which is also filled with sugar, FYI. Even if it just means taking a vitamin tablet, this is one of the most important points I want to ram home. Once you start getting more nutrients in your diet, you will start to feel more energetic, more lively, and much more positive. We're in a vicious cycle right now where stress in a modern diet has made it increasingly difficult to get out of our rut and take back control. You can't force your way out of this kind of lifestyle with sheer force, you need a quick and easy win. Getting more nutrients is that win. Trust me, you start getting more vitamin C and D in your diet and you'll regain that spring in your step that will then help to motivate you toward all the other things you need to do. Losing belly fat is not just about the food. And it's not just about exercise either. What am I talking about? Get more about this in the next video. Check down in the description for other parts, and please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you won't miss other parts on Anoint Him channel. Thank you for watching.